Powered by MPB, this is Chalkboard Chat, an MPB education podcast, hosted by Jermaine Flood and Tara Wren. To hear this episode and more, visit education.mpbonline.org or download the MPB Public Media app to listen on your iPhone or Android device.
You're listening to Chalkboard Chat. I'm Jermaine Flood.
And I'm Tara Wren.
And you are now tuned into our MPB Student Council episode. This is going to be a great episode where we're going to be introducing you to our MPB Student Council members. Now, our MPB Student Council is a group of Mississippi students from across the state that are going to gain insight from MPB on college and career readiness and serve as liaisons for their peers to Mississippi Public Broadcasting. And today we have them in the studio with us. I'd like everybody to just give a quick wave and a hello.
Hi, my name is Corinne Allen, and I am in the 8th grade, and I attend Simpson Central School.
Hi, I am Jenna Dent. I am in the 10th grade, and I attend Madison Central High School.
Hi, my name is Myles Williams. I'm in the 12th grade, and I attend Brandon High School.
Hi, my name is Kayla Latiker, an 11th grader at Lanier High School.
Hi, my name is Kaylen Woodard. I'm an 8th grader at Simpson Central.
Hi, my name is Deon Harrington. I am an 8th grader at Batesville Jr. High School.
Hi, I'm Jack Durr, an 8th grader at Pearl Junior High School.
Howdy, I'm Makenna Mead. I'm a 12th grader at Hernando High School.
And we are going to get started with our interview. I'm so excited to be able to introduce you to them. But first, we wanted to go ahead and get the whole background and the reasoning of why the MPB Student Council was formed. And in today, of course, co-host for Chalkboard Chat, our very own Director of MPB Education, Dr. Tara Wren is here. You're now on the other side of the table, so I'm going to ask you questions.
Okay.
About the Student Council. So I wanted to know exactly, why was the Student Council created in its birth? Just all of it right there.
Okay, well, the big why is, as you know, Mississippi Public Broadcasting is a public media station, PBS affiliate. And as a public media station, there are several organizations that support public media stations from all sorts of ways, including research. And two of those organizations include the National Educational Telecommunications Association, short, we call that NETA. The other Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which we call CPB. Well, they each have a conference annually. And a couple of years ago, in 2020, we went to the conference there, the NETA conference. And what we learned was some research that they had been involved in. And what they told us is that public media stations across the country, they're missing a very important audience. And that audience is who we have here today. And they call them the teens and tweens in one of those research papers that we have been reading and learning all about what this group of students like and how they take in news and media. So, as you know, we have, of course, as a PBS affiliate, we have them when they're little. They're watching Curious George and Clifford the Big Red Dog and all of those PBS programs. But once they age out of that, so to speak, at about 9 or 10, we lose them. They're not looking at the app anymore. Of course, they're not watching television because they're doing big kid stuff. So we have to figure out a way to keep them on the hook once they have aged out of that. The research also said that we may get them back on radio at about age 25 or when they're a little older on our television programming to watch the dramas and the news and keep up with that. But we don't want to take a chance. And so when I got back from that conference, I got with you all, the MPB education team, and said, hey, what can we do? And so we said, we will start a student council. And that's why we're here today. We set out brainstorming, trying to figure out how we would make the work and how we would keep our teens and tweens here in Mississippi on the hook with us, not just on the hook, but how we could give to them and they could give to us and we could learn from each other. And that's why we're here today. And that's when we got back and we handed it over to Jasmine. And along with Erica Shelton, who is her manager, and we pulled you in as a part of that project. And we're just looking for great things as we go forward with the student council. So that's how it all got started in a nutshell.
I love it. It serves a twofold purpose, not only to, introduce this younger generation to MPB, but to also help them gain skills and the knowledge that they need to be able to be successful in, today's society. So, and in reference to what Dr. Tara Wren was stating, I want to go ahead and introduce our student engagement specialist, Jasmine Harvey. Jasmine, welcome to Chalkboard Ch.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to talk about the Student Council and all we have in store. This has been a project that we worked on for a very, very long time. And I'm just super excited about the success that we've had thus far with our inaugural 8 members that are a part of the Student Council.
Good stuff. Now tell me exactly, I know Tara was giving me the birth of the council, but what exactly is the MPB Student Council and what do they do?
The MPB Student Council is a diverse group of students from 8th to 12th grade across the state of Mississippi. Now that we're speaking, and you all have heard their introductions, we have 8 inaugural members who are a part of this Student Council. And so what they would serve or what they would do is there will be the students who lead the projects that we have at MPB. And so we talked about, Dr. Wren mentioned briefly in our research, we wanted to bridge that gap between tweens and teens. And so one way to do that was to create the Student Council. And so the members that are a part of the Student Council will lead some of those student-led projects. We want to make sure that we're getting their voices out there. They have very impactful voices towards issues, whether that's in various national or the state news or anything else that we may need to kind of tie into and learn about. And so we wanted to create a council where these students are leading it. Of course, we talk about, well, how can we keep the students? How can we engage in students? Well, to do that, you first have to what? Involve the students. And so this is that opportunity for their voices to be heard. Like I say, of course, we want them to lead projects as we have the podcast that we'll probably talk about later and some of what are their projects that they have, but as well as some of the benefits with the Student Council. It's not just to be here, but we plan to offer them social skills training, career and college readiness, and anything else that may come up that they say, hey, you know what, I want to learn this, I'm doing that in school, I'm doing this outside of school, and I want to make sure that my writing, my public speaking, the way I present myself, the way that I go out and tackle things in the world in my community, that I'm able to do that. And so not only will they serve as a voice for their student and peers, but as well as their community. We want to make sure that we engage them because, of course, what they feel and desire matters as well. And so we wanted to create that platform for these students to be able to lead not only their peers, but to also be the trailblazer and runner for Mississippi Public Broadcasting.
That's good stuff. I love all of it, Jazz. It sounds very holistic, like we're making sure that they get every single aspect of what they need from this MPB Student Council. So I love it. Now tell me, how many students did you actually have apply and these select 8 got in?
Yes.
Did you choose these 8?
The process was, let me tell you, was very, very rigorous process. I will say that we had over 100 students to apply to be a part of the Student Council across the state of Mississippi. So in the matter of, we started recruiting in the end of August going into September, and we finalized in the ending of September. And so from those members, we had to, of course, narrow it down. We couldn't have everyone. We had great applications. So we had a very rigorous process that we had to select these students across the state of Mississippi that wanted to participate. And so in order to help us kind of narrow down who we wanted, we did an interview. And so after you submit your application, there was an interview that was scheduled. And so through that interview, we asked some very detailed questions pertaining to why they wanted to be a part of the Student Council. And then we also got that opportunity to learn about them and all the things that they're already associated with, whether it was clubs or things in school, outside of school. And so they kind of helped our process, as well as we got the parents involved. Most of our nominations came from parents and or teachers and counselors from their schools. So that was kind of a way to go ahead and get the parents kind of involved to see what we were doing. We were able to select our 8 inaugural members that you will hear from and that you see here today.
That's so exciting to be the 8 out of 100. So I'm excited for these 8, and I want to go ahead and just introduce them to my audience. So without further ado,
meet Jenna Dent, a 10th grader at Madison Central High School. Jenna is the MPB Student Council Chair and an active member of the Madison Central High School Beta Club and student filmmaker in the Academy of Multimedia and Communications program. She enjoys reading, filming, taking pictures, cooking, and working on projects for high-tech video classes.
Jenna, welcome to Chalkboard Ch.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. Now tell me about your chair position. What does this, are you at the top of the hierarchy of everything MPB Student Council?
No, it's not necessarily a hierarchy. We all work together, and basically my role is to communicate with McKenna, my vice chair, and Ms. Harvey to set up the agendas for our monthly meetings.
Okay, good stuff. And I can already tell you're a president type of person, so I can tell you keep everything in order. Now, why did you want to join the student council, Jenna?
I really wanted to interact with my statewide peers to positively impact Mississippi and our communities and just see that effect happen.
Good stuff. I love it. Now, you went ahead and threw it to the vice chair, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump in there with her.
Meet Makenna Mead, a 12th grader from Hernando High School. Mckenna is the MPB Student Council Vice Chair. She's also a 3-year member of the Digital Media Technology Program. She enjoys filming, photography, writing short stories, drawing, and creating designs.
Miss Makenna Mead, welcome to Chalkboard Chat.
Thank you so much for having me. How's it going?
I'm glad to have you here. As vice chair, what does your position entail?
My position mainly is just kind of like a right hand to Jenna, but I do help take care of our MPB Student Council. Me and Jenna talk outside of the council. We make sure, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we need to, kind of check up on. And I also call the meeting to time. So
you are there to be her right hand. I love it. Now, what's your favorite aspect of the MPB Student Council?
Oh, 1,000,000% the community that we're making. We're making a positive difference that will continue to echo throughout, I like to say, sands of time, because we're working together to figure out, okay, here's what the students are saying, here's what the students need, let's show our peers and let's actually get it out there. Let's figure out what we're doing. And that's how I see it.
Yeah, I love that you're so passionate about it. And I can already tell you're the best vice president ever.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Meet Corinne Allen, an 8th grader at Simpson Central School. She's an MPB Student Council secretary and an active member of the Beta Club, a flute player in the band, cheerleader, basketball and softball player, and archery competitor at Simpson Central School. She enjoys doing community service projects and spending time with family.
Miss Corinne Allen. Corinne, welcome to Chalkboard Chat.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you're here with us. Now, Corinne, tell me, as secretary, what is it that you do?
So I'm responsible for taking minutes of each meetings and reporting those minutes at the next meeting that we have. In this position, I also have the responsibility of documenting events, like taking pictures or journaling, and maybe sometimes help maintain our social media platforms.
Right. Now, what made you want to join the council?
I joined MPB Student Council because I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to gain leadership skills, meet new people, and learn how to work on projects with others.
Good stuff. So exciting to have you all. Now let's go ahead and we'll turn our attention to the parliamentarian.
Meet Jack Durr, an 8th grader at Pearl Jr. High School. Jack is the MPB Student Council parliamentarian. He's also an active member of the Beta Club, American Junior Mensa Honor Society, and serves as the vice president for his school's student council. He enjoys playing and being a part of Pearl Junior High School football, baseball, soccer, and track teams.
Jack, welcome to Chalkboard Chat.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Jack, I want you to know parliamentarian is a big word, so you're going to have to tell me exactly what it is you do in that office with the council.
My job is pretty easy. I just make sure everyone's accounted for and make voting on issues a lot easier for everybody and counting the votes and everything.
Good stuff. You're making sure everything stays right down the middle and right on board. So I love that. Now, Jack, what is your favorite aspect of being in the MPB Student Council?
Oh, it's definitely all the different projects we get to do. I got to go read to a class for Read Across America, making different videos for all the projects. It's fun stuff.
Good stuff. Let's go ahead and meet our other council members. We'll start with Myles.
Meet Myles Williams, a 12th grader from Brandon High School. Myles is an Eagle-ranked Boy Scouts of America member and student cadet for JROTC. He enjoys fishing, hunting, being outdoors, playing football, and helping make a difference in his community.
Myles, welcome to Chalkboard Chat.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. And Myles, tell me, why did you join MPB Student Council?
I joined MPB Student Council because I just like helping my community and trying to make a change.
I love it. We'll go ahead and go to our next person. That'll be Kailyn Woodard.
Meet Kailyn Woodard, an 8th grader from Simpson Central School. Kailyn is part of the Simpson Central School basketball team and a member of the yearbook club. She enjoys helping others, working in the community, drawing, cooking, and fashion.
Kailyn, welcome to Chalkboard Ch.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here, Kailyn. Can you tell me what your favorite aspect of the student council is?
My favorite aspect about the student council is really how it's just like educational based and helping like other children succeed by also putting other children involved to helping them get to the point that they want to be.
Right. Good stuff. And up next, Deon Harrington.
Meet Deon Harrington Jr., an 8th grader from Batesville Jr High School. Dion is a member of the Batesville Jr High School band, where he plays the drums. He enjoys reading, traveling, and conducting science research.
Dion, welcome to Chalkboard Ch.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, Dion. Now tell me, what's your favorite thing about being in the MPB Student Council?
Probably all the activities we get to do, because I recently got to do a report about Curious George.
Okay. Love that. So this is good stuff. We're tying in some of our PBS programs to the council, and you all are receiving it well. So I love that. Last but not least, one of my favorite council members, all of them are my favorites, but
meet Kayla Latiker, an 11th grader from Lanier High School. Kayla is a cheerleader for Lanier High School and a member of the Red Door Mentorship Program. She enjoys reading, being an activist for her community, and uplifting classmates.
Last but not least, Kayla Latiker. Kayla, welcome to Chalkboard Ch.
It's an honor to be here.
It is so great to have you here. Kayla, why did you want to join MPB Student Council?
Okay, I wanted to join the student council because I feel like I'm very outspoken, not only at school, not only on my cheer team, at work. And I like to be opinionated. I like to hear everybody else's opinions, and I feel like everybody's opinions matters. I also joined because I never really had to connect or the background to, even the social life, like actually being on a podcast or actually being in front of a video. I feel very confident now because I feel like I be feeling less confident in myself, but now I'm here. And I also want to give just a thanks to Miss Jermaine and Miss Jasmine Harvey for working with me. Y'all ladies have so much, power, and I'm thankful that y'all can be here for me because it's been a lot, and I just want to thank MPB.
You are welcome. I thank you for being here. We're going to definitely learn from each other. So this is great. Now, I know my audience has just heard, so I'm going to give you a little tidbit of one of their projects. So MPB Student Council will be having their own MPB Student Council podcast. And Kayla did mention that, so I wanted to go ahead and say, let's just put that on the table. So MPB Student Council Podcast will premiere January the 28th. Their first episode will drop, and they are going to be tackling everything from education all the way around to schooling, all the way around to maybe some of their own personal feelings. So we've got a plethora of topics that we are going to dive into. And all of this is going to be starting on January 28th. So I want to go ahead and talk about that too. Jasmine, let's go ahead and throw it back to you for a minute. How excited are you for these council members to engage in this way with the podcast?
So Jermaine, I am super excited. One of the things that we brainstorm a lot about is how can we keep students engaged and how can we keep students involved? And so what we learned through our research with tweens and teens is that, as it pertains to news intake and the way they receive information, eventually, within the next couple of years, it won't be through a newspaper or it won't be through television. So of course we had to up our game and become familiar with things that they're interested in, things that they use to get their information, their news. And so one of the things that were top ratings in this research was podcasts. At this particular time, they say, especially with things that are going on with pandemic in the schools, they have more time to listen, they have more time to tune in, as well as like with YouTube. So you kind of have a YouTube form but you hear their voices. And so they're able to listen and talk to each other, engage with each other. And so I'm super excited that they have this opportunity to share their voices as a champion force for Mississippi Public Broadcasting. And they're able to talk about the issues that matter to them, as well as any issues that are going on in the state.
I love it. Now I want to go ahead and toss it back to the chair of the MPB Student Council, Ms. Jenna Dent. Jenna, I know episode 1 is going to be Teachers Who Teach Unique Programs. How excited are you for this podcast episode?
I am so over the top excited for this because I had this idea and it was sparked by a teacher that I have, and he teaches a unique program, filmmaking. And it's going to be so incredibly fun and new, because this is the first time I'm making a podcast. I think it's the first time for a lot of members on here making a podcast. And I'm just so excited.
Have you ever had any experience with maybe some audio or video editing?
Yes, ma'am, I have. In the filmmaking program, we use a software called Final Cut Pro, where we get to play with audio and video editing.
So you're already one leg in the game. Let me go ahead and toss it back to our vice chair, Ms. Makenna Mead. Mckenna, are you excited? Because I know your group, we've split them into groups, everybody. But one group is tackling one topic, the other group is tackling the other. But how excited are you, Mckenna, for these podcast episodes to come?
I'm so excited. I don't think I could properly express it with words. The only thing I can say is that this feels like an absolute celebration in my own eyes.
Right. Good stuff. And you as well, did you have any editing, audio editing or video editing underneath your belt before student council?
Yes, ma'am. Just like Jenna Dent, my school has its own program. I have a program called CTC, and I'm in the digital media career. I have been there for about 3 years, and I've worked on everything from Photoshop to Final Cut to Logic. I've always got something going on.
I love it. I love it. Now, Jasmine, I'm going to toss it back to you. When it comes down to this podcast, I'm just going to have to keep talking about it because I'm excited about it. I'll be heading up the production on this podcast, so I'm super excited about it. But how much reach do you think will come of this podcast, and how many people do you think will be able to touch with it, Jasmine?
To be quite honest, Jermaine, student-led projects are something that is going to soar regardless if it's new or if it's something that's been going on for years. And I say this because we want to hear what they're talking about. And so when you give a platform for students to talk about issues that matter to them, and also maybe opinions about issues that are going on around them, people tend to tune in, especially me. I've always had an eye and just a love for students because they're always forever evolving and learning. And so I wanted to find a way that I can engage with them, keep up with issues that are going on that I may miss. And so I feel like this is going to reach beyond what we could ever imagine, because you don't hear a lot of people talking about podcasts with students. You may hear it on the level of maybe training them to have their own or just giving them that type of experience, but we're going the whole 9 yards. We're giving them their own podcast with their own voices that they can use. And so I think it's going to reach beyond. I can't even put a number on it, Jermaine, because I just feel that positive about it. It's going to reach not just the state of Mississippi, but across the nation is what I feel. Honestly,
I'm excited. Just again, that's going to be the MPB Student Council podcast. It will be premiering January 28th. Make sure you just stay attuned to MPB Education's social media, MPB Education's website as well for more information on that. But I can't wait to get that going. But I want to dip back into the MPB Student Council, Jasmine, as a whole now. What are the expectations of the MPB Student Council members, their parents, and caregivers?
So the expectations that we have for the council, my main thing is I want you to be dedicated. I want you to be passionate about the work that we're going to do. And that takes having the passion to actually do it. And so my expectation is to show up, be ready at all times, be ready to use your impactful voices. I know we'll have a lot of trainings that will help them to kind of guide them and how to talk about these issues, how to have conversations about certain issues. And I'm not just gearing it just towards news and issues, but things that go on outside of the council. You know, we want to know what's going on. We want to be able to keep up with them, and we want to make sure that we're preparing them to be as successful as they can be. And so I want to make sure that we're giving them a platform that they can do those things and be proud to say that they was a council member, and that, you know, with the parents, of course, keeping them involved with everything that we do, because of course the parents are the cheerleaders. They're the cheerleaders for this, and we want to make sure that we include them. We want to make sure that we become a big family so that we can all work together to serve our community, to serve our peers, and to serve all of those around us.
Good stuff. Love it. I love it all. Now I want to go ahead and come back to my officers, and I want to talk to Corinne Allen about why should somebody consider joining the MPB Student Council?
Okay, so I think that anybody should consider joining the Student Council because it's a great opportunity to just meet, like I said, what I'm excited about, meeting new people and helping the community. And if you like helping people and you like meeting new people and like getting your name out there, it'd be like perfect for those people who like to do that.
Yeah, I think it helps you with your own reach, trying to make a name for yourself. Jack, why should somebody join the MPB Student Council?
I would say because we get to do a lot of fun stuff. We get to have these fun meetings, and I don't know, it's pretty fun making a podcast for me. We got to watch a show recently. I got to watch a really good one, Ready, Jack, Go. That was also real fun. So.
Right. I love y'all's love for PBS. Let me go ahead and just query that too. Myles, what's your favorite PBS show, Myles?
My favorite PBS show is we recently just did a project on research about a PBS Kids show, and I liked the one that I was assigned, and that was Odd Squad.
Cool.
Yes.
Now, Dion, you were saying the same thing. So was Curious George your favorite program, or do you have a favorite program on PBS?
My favorite program was Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Oh, okay. I like Clifford too. I think it was a little bit beyond my time, but I like Clifford as well. Kailyn, what's your favorite PBS show?
I have to go back and agree with Myles on this one. I really like Odd Squad, and if not Odd Squad, I'm a big fan of Nature Cat.
I like Nature Cat too, because you kind of learn a little bit about nature. Kayla, what's your favorite program on PBS?
I like Odd Squad, but I'm gonna have to go with Sid, the science kid. I love me some Sid, and how he learns and everything. We kind of go through some of the same stuff that he go through, you know, with learning about allergies and all types of stuff. So yeah.
Right. I love it. I love everybody's love for PBS and MPB. So this is going to be great. Now, Jasmine, I wanted to toss it back to you. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add?
Yes, I do. So I wanted to go back to the question that you asked me as it pertains to the reach that I think that we would have. And I wanted to make the big announcement, and I think this will be the perfect time to announce it, that we have officially published our website for Student Council. And in the process of publishing our website, we also did a social media push. And so I think this will kind of reach our audience and let them know how important this Student Council is to Mississippi Public Broadcasting. And so we posted that reach to introduce everyone across the state of Mississippi and all our partners to our inaugural 8 members. And so the engagement that we received, which is over 15,000, and that's in a matter of a couple of days. So we just posted on, I want to say Thursday or Friday, and that's how much engagement and shares we've had. So there's no doubt that this reach will not go even further for the podcast. And I'm just super excited for the members that we have. And I can't thank them enough for their dedication, for their passion. They show up to every meeting excited. They have voices. They're ready to get out there. They're ready to lead. And I'm just excited to be behind them and push them along the way. So I congratulate each and every member on here today. And I thank you all for choosing Mississippi Public Broadcasting to lead you and to guide you so that we can make sure that you are a success in the world.
Now, Jasmine, can you tell my audience how to get to that website?
Yes, so to reach our website, you will go to education.mpbonline.org. And I want to give some specific directions because I know sometimes when you're on a website, it's kind of hard to find things. If you go to a tab, it's called Special Projects, you will see MPB Student Council, and it'll be listed under our special projects.
Love it. I love it all. And I want to go ahead and bring it on back home to our Director of Education, Dr. Tara Wren. Dr. Wren, I just wanted you to go ahead and bring it on back home to my audience about the MPB Student Council and anything else that you wanted to let our audience know.
You know, when you're so happy, excited about something and you're smiling and your jaw's hurt and in your ears, I've been doing that this whole conversation because I am just excited. You know how you have this thing in your mind and you want to make it work and it's working, and it's not just working, but it's really working. And we're just getting started. And I'm just so proud to hear the students' voices, to hear how they feel, and that they are happy with the projects that they are receiving and that they are learning, and that this is very important to them. And that's our goal, is for us to learn from them to learn from us, and us to really just help to create students now, stronger students, more informed students, that are going to be our leaders tomorrow. They're going to be our public media supporters and advocates and members in the future, but also leaders in politics, leaders in organization. They're your CEOs, your entrepreneurs. And I'm just so excited to hear that they are excited. And I'm just very appreciative of Jasmine and Erica and you, Jermaine, for really just taking them by the hand. And we're just getting started, and they're just getting started with this. And we have so much more planned for them. And like Jasmine said, we posted their introduction to Mississippi and Beyond a few days ago. And just the engagement and the shares and the comments and the congratulations, I hope each and every one of them go and look at them and read them and see who's supporting them, because those are the eyes that are now on you all in Mississippi and beyond. Their eyes are on you, and they want to see what you're doing. And I just have great expectations and know that you're going to do great. So thank you, Jermaine, for doing this on Chalkboard Chat. This is going to be very good for our audience to hear.
I think so as well. I really do. And I really do thank you, Dr. Wren, for helping to curate this MPB Student Council. Jasmine Harvey, I thank you for leading the MPB Student Council and really honing in on what it is that they need to know to be able just to, at least be a member of the council, but also be a great steward of the council in the community. So I really do appreciate you for that. And the MPB Student Council members, all 8 of you all, I appreciate you all for your dedication to this council. I appreciate you all for your energy when it comes down to the projects that are led by this council. So I just really do appreciate you all for that. And I thank you all for being here as well. And this has been Chalkboard Chat. We have been talking to our MPB Student Council. These are students from across Mississippi who will gain insight from MPB on college and career readiness and goals that include gaining student perspectives on various state and national issues, pairing members with mentors for hands-on career training, managing the creation and implementation of a student-led podcast that premieres now on January 28th. So I want to make sure that everybody knows to go out there, look for that podcast. If you want more information, again, like Jasmine said, visit education.mpbonline.org for more information about our MPB Student Council. And you've been listening to Chalkboard Chat. I'm Jermaine Flood.
And I'm Tara Wren.
And class is now dismissed.
You've been listening to Chalkboard Chat, an MPB education podcast. To hear this episode and more, visit education.mpbonline.org or download the MPB Public Media app to listen on your iPhone or Android device. This podcast is hosted with love by ACAST.